Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and today I am practicing drawing faces, or correction, half of a face. I actually think that drawing half a face is a really good place to start if you're a little bit scared of drawing faces. And although I can draw a face, I'm often not particularly happy with it, and definitely is something that with practice gets easier. And I think the whole thing with drawing half a face, obviously you haven't got to get that kind of symmetry there, and you still get the idea of the face on your page. But so if you're not feeling particularly confident, drawing half a face is a really good place to start. Now, there is someone on Instagram that, if you haven't checked them out, it's worth having a look at because her work is awesome. She's called Michelle Logan, and this face is kind of inspired by the way that she draws faces. She is so good at it, and her faces are just amazing. So another someone else you can check out is Caroline Duncan. She's also pretty hot at faces. But I think it is just about finding your own style and finding that that way of drawing faces that works for you. Obviously, Dina is good at faces as well, and she has got lots of daily demos on her YouTube channel that she did during lockdown, where she draws faces and teaches how to do that. So if you haven't checked those out, they're worth having a look at too. There's also a little course on my website where I teach you like how I often draw my faces, and I think since I made that course I haven't practiced drawing faces a great deal, and definitely something that you can lose confidence with. So this is where I'm kind of leaping back in with doing faces. I'm starting off with half a face. So you can see that I mapped it out in pencil first, drew it in with quite a thin Posca pen, and now I am going in and adding some colour. So I'm adding some heather to the hair. This is Dina Wakley Media Paint, and going in and adding some orchid. Sorry, excuse me, I was just trying not to yawn there. Not that I'm boring myself, maybe I am, I don't know. Adding some orchid over the top of that. These two colours are really pretty together. And because the heather is still wet underneath, they're starting to blend, which I really like that effect too. So I'm not going to be adding too much of skin tone onto this face, really. I want the colour to be on the hair in the background. And like I say, if you go and check out Michelle Logan's faces, you'll see that this is directly inspired by her work. So I always like to try and give credit where it's due, and not, I don't know, I think it's only fair if you've been inspired by somebody's work to be upfront and say that. So I'm going back in and putting the lines back in over the top of the hair. I've also added some blue on the inside of the eye. I've just added a catch light there using a white gel pen, and then I'm using my gel pen to just start to add some shadows onto the face. So you have to think about where the places on the face is going to be darkest, and all I'm doing is just adding some it's almost like cross hatching, but I'm not going over it in opposite directions. I'm just doing the lines in one direction. You have to be very careful under the nose. If you make the shadow too heavy, it can look a bit moustachy. You don't always want that look, unless of course you're drawing a man with a moustache. Yeah, so you can see how I'm kind of building up the shadows here, and I think this is a really great way to have a go at doing a face. So if you're lacking in confidence, you're not too sure where to start, have a go at this. Honestly, I think you'll surprise yourself. So here I'm just using, I've got a water brush there, and it's got like a black ink in it, and I've just dripped a bit onto my glass mat, and I'm watering it down with a water brush. So this is just to darken those shadows a little bit, and just to try and bring a bit more depth to the face while I am drawing it. So this does dry a little bit lighter as well, so it looks a bit alarming at the minute, but it will lighten as it dries. And then I decided I wanted to add a cheek on here. Not a lifelike cheek, because of course we don't always go around with circles of colour on our face unless we're a clown maybe. But I don't know, it's just, I kind of quite like how this looks. It gives it a bit more of a quirky look too. And then I'm just going in, so that, oh sorry, that was carnation and this is magenta, and I'm just going to kind of blend those two colours together a little bit. And then I was just using a bit of kitchen towel there just to damp some of the water off the face. Then I'm going in with my gel pen and just adding some more highlights onto the face too. This also just helps to bring that face to life. Sometimes if you catch that pen just while it's just wet, you can smudge it a little bit, which can give a bit of a softer look. And then I decided I would add some white lines onto the hair as well, because then it kind of marries the face and the hair together. Then some sketchy lines around the outside of the cheek. And here I'm just adding in some turquoise into the background. So I am painting around in the area that's left. So the craft colour is going to give us the skin tone for our face. Really that's... if that's another thing, that if you're worried about doing skin tones and you find that scary, this is a great way to do a face, because you haven't got to worry about what skin tone to use or whether you're going to get it right. And you can just add the shadows onto the face to give it that depth, and then you don't have to be worrying about the skin tone. Okay, so once I've got that background colour painted in, I've just gone back over the lines on the edge of the neck and the hair. And then this is the Done Is Better stencil from Dina Wakley, and here I'm using Peacock through there just to add a little bit of text onto that part of the background. So I've got a collection of craft tags, and here I'm just going to add like a little, do you know, for the life of me I cannot remember what these are called. I'm just adding like a little metal accessory onto the hole on the tag. I'll try and find out what they're called. Blaming my brain that can't seem to remember anything. And here I'm just adding some acrylic ink, archival ink. Dearie me, I think I need to stop. So archival ink around the edge of my tag. And that is where I am going to add my words. So here I'm just adding a bit of stamping onto that background too. And then I found a quote on Dina's ledger papers that kind of really spoke to me, and I've added that onto my tag. I've just stuck that down using a bit of clear glue. So this glue is called Collall, spelt C-O-L-L-A-L-L, and it's a clear glue. It's an all-purpose glue. It is one of the best glues that I've found. It sticks so well. I'm just using tweezers to hold those tiny bits of quote there, just helps me kind of get those in place. Okay, so then I'm just adding a little bit of sari ribbon through the tag hole, and then I am going to stick that in place on my page right about there using my double-sided tape gun. I never thought I needed one of these in my life until I got one. And there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create half a face on a page inspired by Michelle Logan. Check her out, and thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.